Why does making friends at 28 feel harder than dating? Why does it feel like I'm speed dating for platonic connections? And why does it feel like everybody's joining a run club for community or just to gain friends? These are questions that we are going to explore on today's episode of Let Me Clarify. So I really don't think that we have lost the ability of how to make friends. I think that we're still very a social and personable society. I think maybe for a lot of us, and maybe I'll just say it myself, a lot of people hate to be categorized, but just for myself, I think I never really learned how to nurture a friendship, how to maintain that, especially as you grow, evolve, and change. So I don't know if many of you guys know this, but I recently moved from the East Coast to Washington. So I moved from New Jersey to Washington. Completely different coast, completely different vibes. And for the first time in my life, I've been faced with the challenge of making friends in adulthood and like being in an area and an environment where I don't know a single soul. And I mean, I do. Pause. I do know some people. I know my family here. I met people through work, but this is the first time where I have no friends. I have no friends, and I really have to make friends because I realized, and I said this before in my previous episode, that a big goal of mine is to build community. And you can't build community, you can't make friends while you're staying in the house all the time. So before I moved here, went on a trip and I met some people that used to live in Washington. And these people, they were warning me. They're like, "Oh my God, you're from the East Coast." Like, and they were, I'm just gonna say this. They were white men, so they were trying to be very respectful and saying like, "Hey, I just don't think that Washington is a very diverse state. While progressive, it's not an extremely diverse state, so you may not see people who look like you." So they were warning me about this terminology. I don't know, this craze. I don't know what to refer it as, but they were warning me about something called the Seattle freeze. And basically, they're saying that in Washington, specifically Seattle area, you'll meet a lot of people who are very friendly and who will probably you'll exchange socials, maybe you'll exchange numbers, but that connection doesn't go beyond that first meet. Like there's no nourishing that connection into a friendship or into something that sees the light of day beyond that first time you're meeting them. So like just be aware a lot of people are non-committal and flaky and they blame it on the weather because apparently it rains so much here. So as I was coming into this new state, I really was bracing myself for the lack of diversity. And now I'm bracing myself for like fickle people, for like fakeness. So yeah, I'm coming like very guarded. I'm guarded because I'm already assuming that I will not be understood. I'm assuming that a lot of people will be fake here. So it kind of gave me a lot of negative, I came with a lot of negative pretenses. But with that, I was like, you know what? I'm still going to try to do my best to put myself out there. I don't want to be, shout out to my previous episode, I don't want to be a loser and just be scared of failing or be scared of rejection that I just stay in the house all the time. So recently, what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to go out more. I've been trying to immerse myself in the community. And what I've come to realize is making friendships or making yourself known in the community is almost like dating. It's like I'm in this friendship dating pool where these different social events I'm going to, I'm kind of, testing it out. Like, do I like the vibe of this people? Do I want to see myself as a second date? Meaning, do I want to go back to this group? Do I want to try something else? And it's been an experience. So, in previous episodes, I had talked to you about, hey guys, I'm going to start speed dating because I think that I'm in the point of my life where I'm ready to explore a romantic connection. I'm like, you know what? I'm a grown woman. Like, why not explore? So I signed up for speed dating, and that experience, I basically realized that I'm like, I'm going to be done trying to force a romantic connection. And if it happens, it happens. This is not something that I'm actively looking for. The first time I tried to go to speed dating, it got canceled because of low attendance. So they were like, okay, yeah, we'll reschedule. And then the second time, I'm getting an email that I got scheduled in, that I'm so excited to go. So I drive all the way to Seattle. And mind you, I live an hour from Seattle. So I'm driving to Seattle. I'm stuck in traffic. It's saying like it's gonna be an hour late. I'm freaking out because I'm gonna be late to speed dating. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like if I'm late to speed dating, I'm missing out on dates because this is a 2 hour event and now I'm coming an hour late. So I'm already freaking out. I'm like, should I go? Should I not? Should I turn around? But I'm like, this is loser behavior. It's loser mentality. You're gonna go see it through. Okay. So I parked my car and I'm approaching the place. And before I go, I was like, let me just check the email details one more time. I open up my email and I get an email from the coordinator, and the person says, oh, what does she say? She's like, oh, hey, this is at 5 a.m. that on that Saturday of the event. 5 a.m. She was like, hey, sorry, we had to cancel the event. A bunch of people who signed up together said they're no longer coming, and if they don't come, it's gonna cause uneven ratio, so we have to cancel. And I mean, I guess this is a lesson to always check your emails in the morning, because I could have saved myself the trip. But after the second failed attempt of speed dating, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not about to keep driving for this event to keep getting postponed. So, yikes, done with that. So, the speed dating was an epic fail. But I was still trying to, and I still am trying to be like, okay, let me be in this lover girl era. Let me still explore these like romantic avenues. So, I had seen on TikTok, there was this running page. They're talking about, oh, we're doing this run for love event, and it's for like people who are open and single, and you wear different colors in the run to show your relationship status. So red is you wore it if you were single and open. Pink was single but self-love. I think white was complicated or something, and maybe black was taken. At first, I was gonna be like, yeah, let me do red, let me wear red and be like, I'm single and open, I'm ready for this. But something in the back of my head the day of was like, girl, mm-mm, just don't do it. Like, first of all, like, they're just, I guess my ego in me is like, wearing red shows desperation. And how dare you show other people that you're single and available? Like, yikes, that could never be me. I could never be that desperate. So, but here I am actually going to the event. So like maybe I am that desperate because I'm literally going to this run event. Anyway, I was like, I'm not about to wear red. Like that's yuck. So I changed to pink for self-love, and I'm actually glad that I did because like when I went to that event, I wasn't in a social mood. And I knew that like sometimes when you're not in, or at least for me, when I'm not in the best mood, I come off very snappy and dismissive. And I was like, yeah, like I really didn't want to go. I was really in my head. All these other things that I was trying to do to like be out there, be open. And it just wasn't working. I was coming off the tail of speed dating. And like what I forgot is for me, the obstacle is just getting there. It takes so much energy for me to be like, I'm doing this alone. I'm driving an hour from my house to go run in Seattle with people that I don't know. So it takes so much energy for me to just get there. And once I finally get there, the next step is like, now I have to talk to people. Now I have to spark a conversation. And that's an added pressure when you go to events by yourself and people usually go with us, another person, a friend. They at least have that friend to mingle with, to chat with. When you go by yourself, you have to be the initiator of conversation if you want, that to happen. For the most part, like sometimes your vibe can just be so cool, people will approach you, but you have to like initiate that. Clear from the future here. Like, how am I forgetting this part of the story? So I changed my color from red to pink because I didn't want to have that pressure of like, I'm so desperate that I want to be in a relationship. So I'm like, okay, let me take it down to self-love. So it can just be like, hey, maybe I'm just focused on platonic connections. I'm focused on making friends in this new city. So I really thought that changing that added pressure or taking that pressure off of like, I'm trying to look for a romantic connection more to like, I'm really just here for making friends, like making connections. I thought that was going to be making that whole situation easier. It surely doesn't. So I got there and I like checked in and then I saw these group of girls. So I was like, okay, or women. Let me say women. We not girls no more. So this group of women and I went there and this is before the race. It was probably like 45 degrees. And I went up to them and I was like, hey, like, are you ready for the race? Trying to be like all like, small talk. And they're like, yeah, it's so cold. And I like I I'm so awkward. Sometimes when I'm uncomfortable in a situation, I just become very snappy. I think I said that already, like dismissive. So this one girl's like, it's so cold. And I'm like a smart ass and like say, actually it's not that cold. And they look at me like side eye. Like, what the heck? Why are you telling me it's not cold? And then they're like, have you been here long? I'm like, no, I just got here. They're like, okay, well stand here long and you'll see. And in my head, I'm like, okay, girl, okay, the attitude is crazy. I said it wasn't cold. I could have preferenced and said, in my opinion, it's not that cold for me because I'm an East Coast girl. So 45-degree winter is a pretty warm winter, especially because it's not snowing. They got a blizzard over there in the East. Like, and on top of it, how I feel about it is you knew we were going outside to run. We're not running inside. So you should have worn appropriate layers. It's not cold because I had gloves, I had thermal, I had an earmuff. I wasn't cold. Yeah, granted, I just got there. But also, instead of running in place, if you do a little joggy jog or whatever, you will get that heart rate pumping, you will get the blood flowing, you will feel less cold. So I could have said all of that, but I I invalidated their feelings and I came off like a smartass. So that conversation after that, it was kind of like, who is she? And then they went back to themselves. So I was like, okay. So then I just kind of awkwardly sat there and waited for the race. And when I got to the race, I met this girl and we were running for a little bit. But then I guess I just was running faster than her. So we kind of separated a little bit. But yeah, after that race, they were all like chatting, and I'm so awkward. I'm just like standing there, like trying to talk. I talked to that girl I was running with. She was starting a baking business, so we exchanged socials, but I felt so awkward, and I was like, I'm not in the position or energy or vibe. I don't feel like making friends or starting conversation. I literally had my friend, I texted my friend, I said, can you call me right now so I can do an Irish goodbye? And she was like, yeah, I can call, but I can't speak. So I was like, oh, hey, like on the phone, like, oh, cool, yeah, no way. And then I'm just leaving because I couldn't even say bye. So that experience, I realized that it's not enough to just show up. Like you have to do that extra step of talking, or at least if you're not talking, if you don't want to talk, you have to do that extra step of being comfortable being alone, like if you're going to events by yourself, like being comfortable being in the moment by yourself. So, what I learned from that run club experience, I took with me the next week when I went to a Valentine's Day event. So, this past Saturday, I went to another event by myself. I know. Don't feel sorry for me. But I went to another event by myself and I was like, you know what, Claire? Don't be standoffish. Don't retreat because you're shy. Just enjoy yourself and be comfortable and be content and sit in that awkwardness. So on Saturday, I went to Seattle again, another hour drive. And I went to this Valentine's Day event. I learned about this event because I met this girl at the airport. And it's so funny, that story. So I was supposed to I was going to California. And prior to my flight, I was like, you know what? I'm going to romanticize my life. I'm going to get myself a little drinky drink and I'm going to have fun. So I'm sitting at the bar. I have my journal open and I'm journaling. And then I have this girl next to me. And she like looks up and she's like, oh my gosh, I love your journal. I journal too. And then we like spark a conversation and we just get to talking and we like really instantly connect. Like we're both Tauruses, we're both a Scorpio moon. Like we both work in tech. We're both from the East Coast. It was just so great to have a great little volley and banter. And then I was like, you know what? Let me get myself another drink, okay? And I got myself a lemon drop. I'm telling you, those lemon drops were strong, okay? Those were nice, strong lemon drops. And I was so excited because I'm like, oh, I'm about to be buzzed on this flight. I'm about to be a cute little buzz. And I ended up miscalculating and spending too much time in the bar and I missed my flight. Yeah, so I had to come back the next day, but she had told me about this event that this social group was doing. They were doing a Valentine's Day event and she was gonna go. And I was like, okay, great. Like, I'm gonna go because I really enjoyed meeting this girl and I really could see myself being friends with her. So I need to do more than just like, oh yeah, let's exchange socials or we should hang out because if you don't act on that initial like meetup with somebody that like maybe you just met, like a friend, if you don't make tangible plans, I would say within 2 weeks after meeting them, that friendship is doomed to a social media friendship where you've connected on Instagram or maybe TikTok, wherever. You probably like show support by liking posts, but there's no real friendship there. There's no like, hey, we hang out or we're actually like trying to build a friendship. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. I'm not going to be complicit or, yeah, I'm not going to participate in the Seattle Freeze. I'm really going to go. So I got my ticket and the girl, she ended up not being able to make it. So it was okay. But I was a little bummed because, like, okay, here I go again. I'm not going to know anyone. And then I go to this Valentine's Day event. Again, I'm an hour late. Like, I just can't be on time. And when I get there, a lot of people came there with somebody else. And I felt kind of awkward just, like, standing around. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to people. So I grabbed, like, they had a little, like, charcuterie platter. So I grabbed a little plate, got some charcuterie things. I talked to a few people and made charms. And I think what I liked about that event was there was active things to do. So like even though I wasn't talking to somebody, I was like actively making charms or just like enjoying the moment. Like at one point I had there was like a mirror and I went to it. I took video in the mirror. I took pictures. I just really enjoyed my time and enjoyed just being by myself. And that kind of sparked conversations with other people. And as I was leaving, there was this girl who came up to me and she was like, oh my gosh, I've been meaning to say this the whole night, but I really love your outfit. I loved how you put it together. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was so excited and I was so happy because in my head, I felt so shy, I felt so awkward, I felt so stupid, and I felt telling myself, "Oh my god, I'm so stupid, like, why am I doing this? Oh my god, like, I'm by myself." But I really try to exude that confidence. Really try to exude that, like, I am the shit, and, like, I got complimented. I'm like, "Thanks, girl." Like, little does she know that little compliment really did so much to me because I was like, I'm texting my friend from back home, "I'm not doing this again. I'm just gonna stay home." Like, it's so hard, like, to put yourself out there, to date around friendship-wise. So, I think I had to reframe my expectations, or I am reframing my expectations when it comes to friendships, because I think that what I'm realizing in these environments, when I went to Galentine's Day, I went to the running event, I've been to different TikTok events. What I'm realizing is it's not that people are unfriendly, it's just that we're all consumed in our own life and everybody lives are very saturated. So if you're not making that intentional effort to grow and, like, reach out, connect, like, "Hey, what's up?" Then people are gonna resume back to their normal lives. They're gonna resume back to the connections that they have. I also realized that I was coming into this I don't wanna say a task, but I was coming into this, like, journey of trying to make friends in this new city with the expectation of an instant connection, where I can, like, find somebody that I can kiki with, and it can be great, you know? But I had to realize that when people are meeting somebody new, just like me, everybody's coming with their own lived experiences. They're coming with their own maybe precautions or apprehensions because of their past, right? Like, maybe they had betrayal in their former friendships, or maybe they found difficulty being relatable with other people. So when they meet somebody new, no one's gonna, like, put their guard down and be like, "Here are all my secrets, let's be friends." Like, no, it's definitely going to be surface level at first. And I had to realize as I'm on this journey of finding friends, I had to do some self-reflection myself and realize that I have not always been a good friend. And I think the issue that I'm coming to terms with, it's not that I've struggled to find good friends, it's that sometimes I've struggled being a good, consistent friend. And I think for the most part, like in my early 20s, I was rejecting communities and friendships that were accepting me, and I was chasing after friend groups that didn't care about me, that didn't accept me, and that probably hated me. But yeah, as I do reflection, I'm like, I was not the best of friends to people, and I think what I realized is I don't like when people see me. For the longest time, I've been very great at being unnoticed, or very great at highlighting other people, living for other people, uplifting other people, and putting other people first so I could hide. And I realized that when I get to know people and people get to know me, sooner or later, they're going to be able to see me. They're going to get to see the real version of me, the things that I can't edit or I can't control. And that scared me a lot in my former friendships. I'm thinking about specifically about one friendship that I had. She was a good friend. She was a good friend. And I likewise, I came in there with the intentions of being a good friend, but intentions don't negate impact. And my impact was I was a severely insecure person. I was running from myself, and she saw me a little bit. She saw the cracks. She tried to expose the cracks, and I think I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to meet her there, and to be real with myself. So instead of being like, yeah, you're right, I do need to change, or maybe I should evaluate these things about myself, I lashed out. And that caused the demise of the friendship. And you have to live with your choices, you know? I did apologize, but probably I could have done a better apology. Hindsight is 2020. And I think for the I think it's for the best that we're not friends because, yeah, I think I was competitive. Yeah, I also didn't really trust her 100%, and that's bad. I think what I realized is I think she really trusted me 100%, and she really seen me as a friend, but I'm the type of person where no, even if you're my close friend, my close friend, I might always have my one eye open or one eye, because I just am like, "Mm, I don't really know." And I shouldn't be this apprehensive. I shouldn't be this guarded because how am I going to expect people to trust me and have full trust in me and show up vulnerably when I'm not doing that? So I had to realize that. I also have come to terms that I've not been a good friend because I was very passive aggressive. Like I used to never say how I really felt. I used to expect people to read my mind, or I used to bottle things up, compartmentalize, and explode. So that is not good for friendship. So if anybody's had previous, my previous friendship experience, of course they're going to come reserved and hesitant. And of course, your first time meeting people, it's going to be so generic and surface level. Like what I've come to realize with Seattle is that the conversations are so surface level. Like every time, everything is about, yeah, the weather. It rains a lot here, but those summers, just you wait on those summers. Just you wait. Like we have oh my gosh, if I have to have one more conversation with a Seattleite slash Washingtonian about how great the summers are, I'm going to scream, I just realized for me, I don't like small talk. I don't really care about that, but I really can't expect people to go deep right away because I don't go deep right away. And when people try to go deep right away with me, I'm like, is this an interrogation? I don't even know you, dude. Like, calm down. Oh my God. So, yeah, me going through those friendship breakups, it kind of put me in a position where I felt like I was in limbo. And I felt like because I had a friendship breakup in 2024. And then after that, in 2025, I really felt kind of alone and isolated. This is when I was still in Jersey. I still had connections through work and stuff. And I had people, from my hometown, but I didn't really have that friend that was near me and I could just call and hang out and we could just, hang out and do stupid stuff. I did have a coworker who we instantly vibe and connected with. I just love her so much because she understands my humor and we can just have stupid fun. You know what I mean? We can be extremely blunt and and real, and it's not like we have to do the whole over explaining. I've come to realize that I'm a very sarcastic person. I'm self-aware about that. I think, yeah, I'm sarcastic, a little witty, and what I think of as witty and fun shade can come off as dismissive. So oftentimes I realize that now I have to not over explain, but not assume that everybody is coming on the same baseline as me. So I first establish baseline, hey, where are we at here? So yeah, guys, making friends is super hard. And for me, in my recent past, it's been feeling like dating. All these different social groups that I'm trying to go to feels like all these different first dates. Now I'm figuring out, and I'm I've been reading this book called Getting to I Do, and it talks about if you want to be a feminine energy in a relationship, feminine energy accepts or rejects. So even in my quest to find friends and make friends here in the city, I'm going to these groups and I'm gonna decide, am I gonna accept this and try for a second date? Maybe I'll go to a second event, or am I gonna reject it and try a different group? And then I'm thinking about what I'm gonna wear. I'm trying to hype myself up as I go to them, like, okay, Claire, like, don't be shy, like, be confident. That it's like, did I get people's numbers? Did I exchange socials? Like, to me, I'm trying to take that pressure out of like being so desperate for a relationship. And now I feel like I've replaced it. I'm like, am I being so desperate for a friendship? But this is the first time that I've ever really experienced living in a new area where I don't have somebody that I can instantly connect with, especially like when, I have a job. Like, it's nice when you have a friend, like, even when you have friends at the job where you can be like, okay, we can put the mask down and we could talk for real. Or if I have a friend, like, oh, we both had a pretty crazy hectic week, let's come over, let's get Chipotle and watch Love is Blind, or let's watch Love Island together. I miss those dates. Let's go to a wine bar and watch Love Island. I miss that platonic connection. And now I'm struggling to find it. And I'm thinking, I'm coming with the expectation of one, this this state isn't for me. These people are not gonna get my vibe. And then I'm thinking, oh, I have to settle for surface level conversations. And this is my same frustration that I have with dating. It's like, I don't want to just talk about your favorite color. I don't want to just be on the surface level. Like, get, let's dig in, let's get deep. And like, I feel that with these platonic connections, but why do I feel like I deserve that? I don't know them and they don't know me. And should somebody ask me deep questions when I don't know them, I'm like, who are you? So there's this dilemma that I'm in, but it got me to think this question, why is community important, or is community even important in adulthood? So obviously, me, I'm going to put my research girl hat on and I'm going to do my research. And I remember a few years ago, because I have an MPH, guys, a public health degree, and there was this conversation about an epidemic of loneliness, an epidemic of loneliness. So I researched it, and in 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General, pardon me, he declared a national epidemic of loneliness in the United States. 1 to 2 Americans experience or reported feeling measurable levels of loneliness. So this is coming from the wake of COVID, where we were all in the house. We all kind of got accustomed to be in isolation away from people. And, maybe during COVID, we had the intentions of learning a new language or getting skillful, but in that, we've developed a lot of bad habits. I think from COVID, I became a doom scroller, and I just lost a lot of attention span. And I was a homebody before, but I'm such a homebody now. So like, I stay in isolation, and I feel like I prefer that. But studies have shown loneliness can lead to cognitive diseases like Alzheimer's. It can lead to increased risk of obesity. It can lead to just more diminished health. So this is actually something that is important or impacting our health. Not only is it impacting your mental health, so a lot of people are reporting, feeling depressed or anxious, lonely. It's actually affecting your physical health. People who are isolated and live by themselves, I don't have the exact statistics, but they live less, or they have less years than people who are in community with people. Also, if you take it a step further, spiritually, God didn't even make us to be individuals that were isolated alone. And I always think about this verse. This is in Hebrews. Let us spur one another to gather, and not, I'm butchering the verse, but it's saying, let us gather and be in good deeds and not meet as some of us are in habit of doing. So there is a habit, it's human nature. When you're not feeling the best, you're not feeling hot, you're not going to want to put yourself out there. You're probably going to want to cocoon, but don't make a habit of that. because that is not good for your health. It's not good for your soul. It's not good at all for you. So communities are really important and friends are really important, specifically in adulthood. I was reading another article because now I'm like researching, why is this important? And this article is saying that friends are good for your mental and emotional health because friends can help raise your sense of connection. They can help you raise your sense of belonging. You think about like, I love my friends because my friends love reality TV, so I feel like I belong in that group because we can always kiki about our favorite reality shows, and it's not like, "What's the current social economic state of the world, and why are you talking about Bravo?" There's a duality there. I can talk about what's going on in the world, and I can be informed. Don't think that I'm not, but I can also talk about Nene Leakes returning to Ultimate Girls Trip. Like that sense of belonging is there. Also, friends can boost your sense of happiness and lower stress. Like, I think for me, like anytime, like when I'm the happiest, I'm hanging out with my friends. Like, one of my happiest moments is always, I have this one friend, she would always come to my apartment. We would get food and watch TV. Super fun. I have another friend, like when we used to work together, just venting about like the craziness of work. Yes, that lowered stress. Girl, hold on. Can you believe this? No way. So friends can help with that. They can also improve on your self-confidence because like, have you guys ever had that moment where maybe you're not feeling the best? You're like, oh, I don't know. You call your friend up. Like, I don't, like, let's say, I don't know if you can hear my dog. Sorry, she is whining. She wants to come in. But let's say you're like applying for a job. Like, girl, I don't know if I should apply. Like, you better apply for that. Lie on the resume. Go ahead, girl. You know what I mean? That like they boost up your self-esteem. Like, or okay, I see you've been putting work in the gym. Okay. What ways? What ways? You know what I mean? Friends can help in that aspect. They also can help you cope through hard times. So, like, I'm in my late 20s, and now we're having friends go through, like, we're going through real life. So, you have like the loss of a job, maybe end of a relationship, the start of a relationship. So, like, those good, happy times, all of those things that you're going through, your friends are going to be there for you to help you uplift you in the good, even uplift you in the bad, celebrate you, all of those things. That's why a friendship is important. So that's why it's like, I'm not crazy. Like I had to research. I'm not crazy for wanting that, for desiring community, because I'm actually thinking about my health. So another study that I looked at, this is coming from the American Psychological Association. They reviewed studies. So it reviewed 38 studies and found adult friendships, especially high quality ones that provide social support, companionship, can significantly predict well-being and can protect against mental health issues such as depression, anxiety. So this is like a health intervention, friendships. It's not like something, oh, like you're just being a little girl, like adults don't have friends. No, like I'm concerned about my health. Okay, I'm trying to live forever. I need friends to lower my stress, to help me be part of a community. So, like, it's really important to go after that. And I think it's also important, like, I don't know if you guys are in the same boat as me. I don't know. Maybe you guys still have your friends that are close, or maybe you are so great at finding friends. But I think what I'm realizing is like, it's okay to admit in like in your desires and to go after them, and don't call it desperation. That's just you being a human. I'm talking to myself right now. I'm just being a human because I want friends. So I just wanted to close it with what I'm currently doing to make friends or to go on this friendship journey, on this like these dating friendship dates, is I'm trying to change my expectation and understand that in this season of my life, I'm really focusing on self-growth. I'm focusing on self-improvement. And maybe in that, I'm not meant to find the closest best friend that I'm going to do everything with. I think that this stage of my life, I'm really meant to choose myself. And much of this journey is meant to be gone independently. So I can build a community, but I don't want to have that dependency on friendships that I probably once had, and it was unhealthy. So I'm coming with the expectation that it's okay to be lighthearted. It's okay to be surface level. Surface level doesn't have to mean fake. And surface level is a good starting point that can grow into something. Like I'm thinking about um a budding friendship that I'm having with somebody I met in this state. It's sort of very surface level, but I really do appreciate this woman for who she is in my life. And I think that we're friends. Like, dare I say we're friends? I think we are. This is my friend dance. Yeah, I think she's my friend. So I really just try to reframe my mindset. I also am trying to do more to feed my friendship. So when I meet people, not not be stuck in that friend or social media purgatory where it's like, yeah, let's connect on social. What's your Instagram? What's your TikTok? But beyond that, I try to feed that. So maybe I'm like going to an event that somebody invited me to. Um, Maybe I need to do more effort of like, okay, I can invite somebody out, like, hey, there's this event here. So just trying to feed those friendships that I'm making, those connections, so it doesn't just live on the phone. Like it actually can be a real relationship. I am also I'm also trying to be an active listener. I have been told that I am not a great listener. I had a critique said to me that I listen to respond. I don't actively listen. I beg to differ because I really do feel like I actively listen, but sometimes I can admit I am preoccupied. So I am trying to just be more present in the conversations that I have when I meet people in the wild and actively listen. I also, in my quest and my journey to find friends, I am also trying to be kind without performing. I realized in my former friendships as I'm trying to like self-reflect, and I spoke about how I wasn't the best friend. I didn't show up as the best friend is because I think I was being a performative friend. I was doing nice things, but I wasn't really being kind. So I want to be kind to myself, and being kind to yourself is making those boundaries, forming those boundaries in your friendship, but then also just doing things without expecting anything in return. Like I know that's like, oh my God, like girl, why are you saying that now? Because I really did think that I was doing things out of the kindness of my heart. I was. I definitely was. But I used to get so irritated when I would do things for somebody and it was not reciprocated. But now I'm like, it doesn't have to be. Just because you go above and beyond for somebody doesn't mean that they're going to go above and beyond in the same way. I mean, would you like that? And would that be preferable? For sure. But that expectation is something that I had to let go of because there's nothing that is making them have to do that. They really don't have to do that. So take note of that and you can decide if you see that in a friend, do I want to be this person's friend or not? You can accept or reject. So I'm learning to do that. And I'm also learning to not be performative in my friendship, just give out of the kindness of my heart. If it's not reciprocated, note it. But I love you either way. Another thing I'm trying to do on this journey for friends is I'm trying to be more intentional. I think I have been intentional, but I used to do a lot of talking without walking. Okay, so now I want to walk the talk. And by doing that, I'm going to do what I say and say what I do. So, for example, the girl that I met at the airport, she is also a runner. See, another thing we have in common. She's already my friend in my head. Like, she doesn't even know it, but we're friends in my head. So she had added me to a running group, and she said she is fundraising for a half marathon, I believe in May. And I was like, yeah, I would love to support. So instead of saying I would love to support, I said that, and as I said that, I sent money. So I'm trying to be more intentional. If I said I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm not just going to talk just to talk. I'm going to talk, walk that walk, talk that talk. And then the last thing that I'm doing is realizing that not all friends are meant to be your best friend. So I'm going to accept the friendships and the platonic connections that I'm making now and understand that maybe Seattle, I'm not supposed to have a best friend here. Maybe I'm just supposed to have really cool people that I have met and connected with. So I just want to close and say, as you guys are maybe trying to find new friends, making new connections in whatever stage of life that you are, or if you're in a new city, in a new place, maybe you just want to explore the city that you have known forever and you want to make new friends in that. Consider what season that you are in. For me, I think my season is my life right now is that I'm just meant to enjoy camaraderie and companionship in this new state. I'm meant to build these connections and build community as I find who I am. Does that mean finding community through a run club? I don't think so. I've tried that. I don't get it. I don't see it for myself, but I'm not going to give up. So if you guys have had similar experiences where you're finding friends, do you feel like finding friends or making friends as an adult is harder than dating, or do you feel like it's comparable? Let me know. Until then, see you guys.